Alright folks, welcome back to Hapes O Games, and I'm playing Ereban Shadow Legacy. Baby Robot Games were kind enough to give me a key. The game launches as of today, and I'm on chapter 4, so I'm going to go through a bit of gameplay for folks. I'm going to try and avoid majority of any story spoilers, and just give folks an oversight of what the gameplay is like. Before I actually do that, I'm going to skip the cutscenes. I don't want to ruin that for anybody. I want to actually go to options first. I want to go to graphics. And I'm just going to show I'm using an AMD RX 5700. And I'm able to easily run the game on high graphics quality. I'm using 1920 by 1080p resolution. But I'm using AMD's upscaling technique to bring that up to an average of 2K resolution using their upscaling technique. And I'm getting around maybe between 70 to 90 FPS, 100 FPS, depends on where I am. So I gotta say, performance-wise, incredibly impressive, especially for a launch title. This is Baby Robot's very first game, and I gotta say, it's pretty impressive graphically. As you can see, it's got a cell shaded design.
Now what? I'll have to find another way to the garage.
So you might ask, what is Ereban? Well, Ereban is a stealth platformer, and it's got a really interesting mechanic. Our protagonist here, she can basically travel the shadows. And one really cool thing, it's in particular on the PC version, is this game controls really well with keyboard and mouse, I'm finding. Now, it seems to have pushed me towards using a controller, but I said I wouldn't. And I said I'd actually try and attempt to use mouse and keyboard. And I'm actually glad I did. So basically, that's the main mechanic, is the ability to travel with a limitation through the shadows. And that kind of aids the stealth mechanic within the game itself. So I'm kind of just going to show folks a little bit of stealth gameplay. And the other thing is, you kind of can either be a bad guy or a good guy. Well, I wouldn't say bad guy or a good guy, but you can make bad decisions and good decisions. You can choose to kill your enemies, or you can choose not to, or ignore them. I'm choosing the bad route because it gives me some interesting abilities. As you can see there, I just use a radar to detect the enemies. So the enemies in this game are sentient robots or something. There's some form of alien robots that have landed on this planet. And basically you, as the protagonist, have escaped a facility where you were essentially captured, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. So let me try and showcase a little bit of stealth gameplay here. And I want to show the navigation in general. So the main mechanic, as I mentioned, allows you to blend in with the shadows, and you do that with the right click, in this case on PC, and it ties itself directly to the platforming segments itself. So when you jump, if you right click within a shadow, bear in mind you can't do it in light. And I'm going to sneak up behind this guy now and take him out, and we'll get this guy as well. Oh, there's a robot coming. I gotta get out of here. Oh, that was close. They are basically one-hit kill once they catch you as well. So you gotta be quick getting away. Now, the movement and mechanics become very smooth once you understand when to use your shadow ability, if that makes sense. And it's pretty seamless once you get the hang of it. Again, what I said earlier about this is I'm very impressed by the polish that's on display here, in particular for the PC version. And this is obviously a pre-release as of recording this. So very impressive considering it's a launch title. I got a ton of those guys showing up. Let's just try and sneak past them now. So you can bear in mind you can use that ability to prevent yourself from taking damage when you fall. So I'm also right clicking there as I was landing. So I'm just literally using the spacebar to jump. You can also fall through grates or go through doors that have gaps. Once there's shadow present, obviously. This guy is coming here now, so I need to kind of blend quickly. And now I can get him.
What?
Just take him out. So I'm after murdering a worker, basically. So that's going to go against me, I assume, in the story in the long term. But for now, let's go up here. So there is kind of... There's a primary waypoint. The maps work like little hubs. You can approach them whatever way you want to approach them to get that to that main objective. However, there does seem to be a lot of freedom to that, as I mentioned, which I really like. So it's linear to an extent, but not linear in how you actually approach the gameplay, if that makes sense. I gotta get out of there quick before he spots me. Let's try and go up here. And there's a cool verticality about the gameplay here where you can pretty much go up buildings and stuff like that once there's shadow present. I'm gonna hack this terminal.
Set. Change of plans.
Are you all right?
Yes.
So yeah,
I found a new
just a little sneak preview of what I've been playing so far. I'm gonna do a couple of videos for, of this game in the next couple of days. I might try and do an actual stream as well. Folks have actually any questions
An old temple.
on it. But yeah, this has been really fun and incredibly impressive again for first release
Why don't I just
by Baby Robot Games. Thanks to them for giving me a key, but I'm sharing my honest opinions here on this. And very, very polished stealth platformer with interesting mechanics that, you know, definitely differentiates itself from anything I've played in a long time. In particular, the shadow mechanic, which once you start getting the hang of it, it's really, really addictive and fun to use. Again, I just show the fall damage being removed because of that. So you kind of get into this flow of movement and stealth, which can be really, really addictive. The last thing actually before I finish up is I may as well show folks the upgrade mechanic. I mightn't have enough points here to upgrade. I do. I cannot. So basically you can upgrade gadgets, but you also unlock abilities as you go through the game. I'm not going to spoil anything there, but let's create something here. Let's create a little decoy. And let's maybe use the decoy before we finish up. If the game allows me to do that. Yeah. Okay, I've got 3 decoys available to me. Let's hack this terminal first, or open this door maybe.
The entrance now.
Can you talk?
Yeah. What's on your mind?
I have not been frank with you. I worked for Helios. After the explosion that destroyed the lab, I had no memory of what had gone before. The Forgotten Sons pulled me from the rubble.
Oh, well, I can see why you'd want to keep that secret. But I appreciate you telling me.
A token of friendship and continued trust. Stay safe.
So voice acting also, just as we listened to that there, incredibly impressive as well for a first launch title. The Helios are the kind of invading robotic forces, as I mentioned. And again, they're carrying out experiments on people like the protagonist, who have those special abilities and powers. And the planet currently, from what I'm picking up in the story, is going through a power issue or an energy issue. So let's try and use the ability. See if this does anything. I'll try and find a place. Let's just plop it there for a minute. I actually want to see what it actually does first. Okay, so good for maybe escaping, but not necessarily good for, because it seems to create an alert there. But definitely if you were being chased down, I suspect it'd be good for that. It's distracted him anyway enough to get behind him and take him out. So you can also upgrade shadow powers, but I only got to do that at a particular point in the game. So again, there's powers that are good and or bad depending on what you do in the game. I said, as I mentioned, I'm going for the kind of bad route. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to finish up the video here. What I'll do is I'm going to do a couple more, maybe a stream. Yeah, and hopefully that gives some folks a bit of an idea of what it's about. It's out. The game's out today as of, I think, 10 a.m. Or 9 a.m. GMT, in and around that time. And yeah, hopefully that was some way informative. And drop a comment down below if you've not heard of this one or you're interested. And yeah, thanks for watching.